Hello and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make a cowl neck dress. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly click the subscribe button. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever I post videos like this. And you can as well share this video to those that it will be helpful to. I'm going to start by drafting my basic bodice block, which is what I'm doing right now. I've just measured my armhole length and I measured 8.5 inches. I added 1 inch for my shoulder slope to that, making 8.5. How I got that, I divided my bust circumference by 6 and I added 1 inch to it. My bust circumference is 39 divided by 6, that gives 6.5, and then I added 1 to it, that gives 7.5. But I measured downward 8.5 because of the 1 inch that I will be removing for the shoulder slope. I've marked my shoulder measurement, which is 14 divided by 2, that gives 7. So I've gone ahead to mark 7. And I've also marked my neck width, which is 2.75. I'm using that because I do not want this neck width to be too wide. So rather than using 3 inches, which is a standard measurement, I reduced that to 2.75. At the base there, I just divided my bust circumference into 4 and I've marked that out as well. Next, I'm going to measure my bust point, which is 10 inches. So I'm going to mark at this part and come to this other area to mark so I can get a straight line. After marking this, I will just connect them using a straight ruler. Then I will proceed to mark the length of this dress. So the length that I'm using is 16 inches. This is actually a jumpsuit, but I will be doing the tutorial for the top alone. So this is going to be attached to the pants once I'm done. So now that I've taken the length of this dress, I will just go ahead and measure out my waist circumference divided by 4 there. So I've done that. Then I'm going to mark my bust span. That is a nipple to nipple point divided by 2. So what I have here is 4 inches. I'm going to mark down the 4 inches and connect the point from my chest line to the length of this dress. Thereafter, I'm going to mark the bust dart, which is 2 inches. To get this, you're going to measure the front length and you are going to measure the back length. After taking down your measurements, you minus the back from the front. So whatever you have left is what you are going to mark as your bust dart. To draft the waist dart line, you go to the bust span line and mark 0.5 on both sides of the line. After marking that out, you just connect straight to the bust point. Next, I'm going to divide the armhole line by 2. So I'll just fold my tape to get the midpoint of this line. After getting the midpoint, I'm going to go in by 0.5. Thereafter, I will use my curved ruler to connect this to form my armhole. Back to the waistline, I'm going to add the 1 inch dart that I took from that waist to the side. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be using up 1 inch for my darts, that's for the waist darts, and that is what I am adding back. So I've added the 1 inch darts and I have also added 1 inch for my seam allowance, both at the waistline and at the bust area. After adding that, I just use my ruler to connect the points. So you can see at the base there, I added 2 inches, while at the bust area, I added just 1 inch because of the extra 1 inch for my dart. So for my neck width, I will go up there and use my ruler to draw a V line straight down to my bust point line. After drawing that out, I'm going to open up this area so that I can fold my bust dart and my waist dart. What I'm doing here is I'm transferring this dart to the area that I have just cut open. So when I'm sewing, I'm not going to sew any waist darts, neither will I be sewing the bust dart because I have transferred them to the line that I opened. Then I will just cut all of the areas that I do not want. I will cut them off so that we can proceed to the next step. From here, I'm going to go to the chest line and cut it open, but I won't cut it through to the end, as you can see. Then I'm going to bring in a new paper and place the first draft onto the new paper. At the top area, I'm going to measure 12.5 inches, then spread my first draft to meet up with that 12.5 inches. This paper that I have here is not up to 12.5 inch, so I just quickly glued a little to it. What I want you to take note of is the line from your bust point down to the length of the dress should not be spread out. So it should lay properly over the second pattern because we do not want the cowl design to get to that area. So here we have our 12.5 inches. I have marked that out. Then I will just go ahead and tape down the first pattern onto the second one. Then I'm going to cut out the excess areas. Afterwards, I would use my tracing wheel to trace out these lines onto this paper. I'm doing this so that by the time I remove the first pattern, you understand what the second one is and what I'm actually doing. We won't be needing the first pattern anymore. So I'm just going to connect all the areas that I have traced out. Then I would divide my shoulder into two. I'm going to get the midpoint of each half that I have divided. Then I would mark my bust point line, which is 10 inches, and I will connect that. I'm doing this just so that you understand this process. If you want your cowl neck to be like the regular fullness, you can go ahead to cut this out onto your fabric. But if you want to add extra fullness to it, you want your cowl neck to have like more volume, then I want you to watch this part to the end because that is what I'm about to do. I'm going to be drawing like a curved line from the shoulder to the center front. So from the chest line at the center front, I went up by 1.5 inches. From there, I marked another 1.5 inches. So the spacing at the front there is 1.5 inches. That is the distance between the first line to the second one is 1.5 inches at the center front. After marking that, I would use my curve ruler to connect from my shoulder to my center front, as the point I have at the shoulder area to the points I have at the center front area. Then I'm going to open this up, but I will not open it through. So I'll open them up because I will be spreading them out on a different piece of paper. So this method that I'm about using is called the slash and spread method. And what I'll be doing here basically is to add more volume to the shoulder area. Of course, this volume is going to also affect the volume of our cowl neck. We'll have a fuller cowl neck when this dress is done. So I have gone ahead to introduce a new paper for this, and you can see I have also folded in some parts of this paper. This part that I have folded in is for the facing. When this is transferred to my fabric, I'm going to increase the length of this facing as this is kind of short for my liking. So if you have watched this video up to this point and you are yet to subscribe, kindly do that now. Hit the like button and share this video. Coming down to the chest line, I'm going to open this up, but I won't cut it through because I need enough room to be able to spread this out. Also remember, the bust line to the waistline is not supposed to be spread out, so it's going to maintain that straight pattern. And look at that center front. The center front of the second draft has curved inward. Don't worry about that. Just ensure that your pattern is not spread outside the third paper. Next, I will go to the shoulder area and mark 1.25 as a distance between the slashed papers. Now that I'm done with this, I will go ahead and tape this second pattern down onto the third one so that I can fold this into a pleat. I'm done taping, so I'll just go ahead and fold my pleats, fold it neatly so that I can cut out the excess area. So as you can see, we have 3 pleats here in total. Next, before I cut this off, I'm going to add ½ inch for my seam allowance at the shoulder region. After marking that out, then I will just go ahead and cut this off. After this, I will proceed to drafting the back pattern, and this is also similar to the first draft we did for the front, but I will be highlighting some of the differences here. The length of the back is 14, but the front is 16 like I said. So I've removed the 2 inches difference from the front bust darts. The neck depth for the back is 1 inch while the width is 2.75. At the waist area, I went upward by 0.5 so that this is to help me eliminate zip bulge. Next, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect this and then cut it off. After that, I will transfer this pattern to my fabric. I'm going to leave 1 inch at the center back for my zipper allowance and ½ inch at the other areas like the armhole, the shoulder, and the length of the dress. The back part is ready. Next, I'm going to transfer my front pattern onto my fabric. So I've gone ahead to open up the pleats on my pattern so that it will lay flat on my fabric, and I'm just trying to add extra length to my facing. Like I said, the facing I had on the paper was short, so I needed to extend it, so I'm adding 4 inches to what I already have. So with that done, I'll just go ahead and cut out my fabric. I'm going to add ½ inch allowance to areas like the top length, the side. I wanted to increase my seam allowance to 1.5 inch, so I added ½ inch. Initially I used just 1 inch, so plus this ½ inch, that is 1.5. I won't be adding any allowance to my shoulder area and the facing because I've done that when I was drafting the pattern. If you found this video useful, kindly subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and you can also drop your comments in the section. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell and share this video. So this is what it's like. You see the length of my facing, and do not forget when you're cutting your front pattern, the center front should be on fold. So I'll just quickly show you what it's gonna look like after sewing. I'm gonna plait the shoulder like we drafted in our pattern and use my facing to turn it over. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.